Yo, uh, we went to go see, Spider-Verse. It's not called Spider-Verse. It's Spider-Man in Across the Spider-Verse, the sequel to the great Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Um, yeah. So before we talk about the second one, what did you think about the first one? Because we both went to go see it in theaters, and we both had very different experiences.
Yeah. So I'm honestly a little bit late to the party. I did see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That's the first one, right? And I went to go see it with Rodney a while back when it came out. I think around 2018, right?
Yeah, 18, 19. I just know it's been 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And we were excited to watch a new Spider-Man movie, but I ended up falling asleep while I was watching it. And I fell asleep multiple times watching it. And then this year, I actually finally watched the whole movie to the fullest. And I was shocked at the point of how did I fall asleep on this movie. But I work a lot of hours, so probably that's why I was just tired on the days when I was watching it. And it was one of the best animated movies I've ever seen in my life. So I was like, I can't believe I just fell asleep on this movie and I missed the movie theater experience for it.
Yeah, it's crazy because, I mean, I guess the movie experience for the second one was way better because I mean it was one of those situations where you go in and there's really no expectations. Like I didn't really expect I like the animation and I fuck with Miles, so I wanted to go see it. And it just so happened to be like a great movie. Like, you know what I mean? So like I feel like the experience for the second one was like people knew how great the first one was, so they were hyped to see the sequel. You know what I mean? It was kind of like um probably like people who went to go see the first like people who went to go see the first Matrix, you know what I mean, or like the first Star Wars. They had no clue like what it was, and then you watch it and you're like, yo, this is really crazy, like, you know what I mean. And the reason why I can compare the first movie to people have compared it to like the Matrix, specifically because it birthed that art style like of animation like that. Like a lot of movies have been copying their flow like on some Soulja Boy shit, like, you feel me? So it's like they started that, like, you know what I mean? So it's, and like they got high praise, and you can tell they got like way more budget, like a bigger budget for the sequel. But yeah, it was a great movie, and in my opinion, it's neck and neck for that and Spider-Man 2 for like the best Spider-Man movie of all time. Like, you know what I mean? And it's because that has nothing to do with Peter.
Yeah, and this was my first like representation of Miles in the first place. I mean, I've heard of him through you and like through the video game, of course, but I watched the movie before the video game. But I also knew he existed, but I didn't know he was really like that interesting of a character.
Yeah, he's just something that like if you see, you're just like, oh, it's just like a Black Spider-Man.
Yeah, just a Black Spider-Man. I came across it because my recommendations always shows me like comics and stuff like that, but I never really read into his comics or anything like that. So this being my first interpretation of him, I feel like it's really good. I'm really digging his character. I don't know if it lays true to the comics, but
yeah,
I really find Miles like an interesting character, and I feel like they can do a lot with him. Like they can make him like a really big figure in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I agree. I think I came across Miles a while ago, like around the time when he first got announced. Like, and fun fact, he was actually based off of Childish Gambino. That's why like he's so prominent in the thing, because like I guess so around the time when they were casting for the Amazing Spider-Man, they kept on saying like, yo, we want to do a whole new take about Spider-Man, like some whole completely new shit. So like he was on a show called Community at the time that was really bubbling, and like I guess he really wanted to play Spider-Man, and like fans were like really posting. This is around when Twitter just started popping off, so like he started like really like blowing up about that. And in one episode of Community, he's wearing like a Spider-Man costume. You know what I mean, with the afro and shit, and like
Yeah.
creator of Miles and was said he was inspired by that to do something like new with Spider-Man. So he literally created Miles based off him. You know what I mean? And that's just actually crazy because he does later on in time like ends up being in the movie, like, you know what I mean, like,
Mhm.
and then Spider-Man Homecoming, he was like the Prowler, like he was the my nephew Miles, and like, you know what I mean. So it's
Yeah.
like shit just became like full circle, like, you know what I mean. Like he's too old to play Miles, but like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But it's cool that he's in it.
So you're saying what you're saying is Miles was created specifically for him? It was like
It
at the
wasn't
time.
like it wasn't specifically for him. It was based off of him, off of the whole him wanting to be Spider-Man, but he's like a black guy, like, you know what I mean? Like,
So did Miles existed?
no, Miles was created around like '06,
Okay, okay.
and that's the time where he like it literally all happened. Like you can look it up. Like he wanted to play Spider-Man, and the original creator wanted like he was like, yo, we want to do something new with Spider-Man, so they literally created Miles like based off him.
That's kind of fresh. That's fresh, bro. Um,
Yeah.
Damn, you got a whole character. You
I'm
kind of started this whole He kind of basically started this whole process. Then that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think it's cool that he's like it's just full circle, like, you know what I mean. Like now he's in it, like, so yeah. So yeah. What would you rate the first movie then?
First movie, I would rate it a solid 9.
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah, a lot. Everything's pretty much great in that movie. Like I don't even know. Like I don't think there's anything I don't like. Like it's like that. I would give that like a 9.9, like almost. Like,
Bro,
bro.
it's like a very good origin story.
Great.
Like, good.
Like, and you don't even. I don't think you need to know anything about Spider-Man. Like, it's
Mhm.
because most people around the world, like the top three most popular superheroes in the world is Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man. So like, even if you don't know who's like Spider-Man's whole story, you just know like, oh, Spider-Man, like he swings and he has a red costume. So like,
Yeah.
you don't really have to know like a lot about Spider-Man, but also like it's for the fans too. So it's like that's why like it's such a good movie because it it plays in for both people, for random people who have no idea and for people who are like fans. Like it's all the whole bunch of Easter eggs and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I would get yeah, I'd give it like a 9.5, like 9.5, for real. Like, and it's very rewatchable too. A very like rewatchable film, which is like kind of rare. But yeah, so going into the sequel, my expectations were really high. I think, um,
Mine was opposite.
I mean, I guess I understand how you would were like that because I was excited for the film like since the first film, like, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of came on a little bit too late, like, you know, not too late, but like through the whole build up, like of like the promotion, like them league, like all that, like I was invested, like you wasn't, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like so like, but yeah, like I knew the kid, like I knew 29.9 was gonna be in it. I knew they would have like crazy and a bigger budget, like, so it's like I knew they were gonna go crazy with it, and they did announce that this was gonna be part 1 to a part 2 that's actually coming out next year. They said this coming, so
Oh, part 3
yeah,
is gonna come on
shit,
next. That's crazy.
yeah. So,
damn.
so I guess they did both movies at once, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was super hyped for the film. We even seen it early. We went to go see it Thursday, kind of on Friday. And it made like 100 million Thursday alone. Crazy.
Honestly, I felt like having other people there to watch made the experience better. Kind
It was
of.
like an
I don't know
experience.
why.
Like, everybody was clapping at the same time. Everybody was cheering at the same time. Everybody was like quiet at the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was definitely like a movie experience, which is one of the reasons why I love going to the movies, because it's like everybody's just like in tune with what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, it's like
Yeah.
an experience for real.
And I go to the movies often too, and I've never seen the movies as packed as that movie.
Like when was the last time niggas was like cheering in a film? Or, like it was like Endgame?
Never, bro. I've never went to the theaters like for a good couple, like two years. I've never seen a movie.
I would say Endgame.
Yeah,
Like
that's the last time.
oh no. Spider-Man. When Toby walked out, niggas was hot. Niggas was hot.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So,
You're
yeah.
right about that.
But like
No Way
that
Home.
was just one scene. You know, what I mean? That was when Toby came out. Niggas was like, yo, Toby. But like that was it. Everything else, niggas was just watching.
I was dying when people were screaming random comments. Like one kid was like, "Yo, this movie's so funny."
Yeah. No.
People were really into it.
But yeah. So Across the Spider-Verse. What did you think about it, man?
Across the Spider-Verse, I was impressed because usually when movies do sequels, it's usually never as good as the original first. But I like this movie more than the first movie. But the only reason why I feel like I love this movie more than the first movie is because of the first movie itself, because I feel like it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, like you have more context. Like if you just watch this film on its own,
yeah, you wouldn't enjoy it as much if you just watch this film on its own. Which is why I like after a couple of days of like watching it, I mean like sitting with it, I do see why some people would say the first one was probably like the best movie because it can be a standalone movie. But what I liked about the second one is that it tried its best to keep you entertained even during the quiet parts of the movie. Like there was always something it wanted you to think about, like
even visually,
yeah. Like there was one concept of when, like, you know how they were trying to do Gwen and the concept of her being like in love with Miles and how they were like both kind of in similar situations, and then when they meet up together, they showed them upside down. I was like, why would they shoot a shot of them upside down? And although I know the obvious reasons, because it's visually pleasing, it's kind of cool, but it was kind of showing the scene of what they were going through. I was like, oh shit, like this is something that they only can see. This is something that this is how their life is. This is kind of what it's like being Spider-Man, and that's what they were trying to basically portray in that scene. And when I sat down and I saw that, I was like, wow, this guy really thought really hard when he was taking every shot of this movie, because like
two people,
yeah,
two directors.
They thought really hard about it, because projecting them upside down is kind of like symbolizing like they're different, like they're like this is what they have to deal with on a daily basis, is this unique life that no one can understand but them, you know what I mean? And when I was watching that, I was like, when I was sitting there and watching, I was like, why would they be shooting the shot? I was like, man, this guy really cared about like showing like the themes of balance, life balance. Like that was like kind of like the theme of the movie that I enjoyed, and I can kind of relate with it because I don't know why, but Miles, like, I guess because he's black. I don't like really saying that, but I guess because he's black, I feel like I was able to connect to the character more when I was watching the movie.
I don't disagree with you, but it's just like it's not. I don't think it's more so that because he's black. I think it's more so like he's just a good character. Like he's just like you're rooting for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like you want his his family to like chill on him, and you want him to be able to choose his own destiny. And like literally, like he said throughout the whole film, it's just people telling him what to do. Like, and it's like. And any, like, even me as a kid, like when you go through that, you're like, damn, like you don't have no power, you have no say in nothing. Like you're just like your life is just going, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's like a common like Spider-Man theme is Peter Parker. He can't balance his love life with his.
His Peter Parker's life is horrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, and like Miles is just getting a taste of it now, being like that he's on his own. You know what I mean? He's the only Spider-Man now because the other one died in the first film. But yeah. So, I think any shot, like you could pause at any shot in this film, and it could be like a painting. It's really crazy to think about. Like, I wonder how. Like, I just want to know how much like went into it. Like, like so much detail and like craftsmanship is just like commendable. Like these niggas need to win awards for this shit. Like this one's definitely gonna win another award. Like the first one won an Emmy, I think, and this one's gonna win another one too. Like 100%.
And I just like how they have Easter eggs in the movie. Just randomly pop up, like make the movie fun. You know what I mean? Like, yo, apparently that scene with Genki, bro, that was Spider-Man 2, bro. That's what they were saying.
The scene with Genki. What scene?
In the video game.
Yeah, he was playing Spider-Man 2?
Dude, that was like a part of the game. It was like a little like teaser to show you what's going on in the game.
Oh no, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. Like, cause in the first one he's playing Spider-Man, so you know what I mean. So it's just like, and we see Spider-Man PS4. Like, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it's just, bro. Everything was just Easter eggs on Easter eggs, and it's just great.
I just wasn't expecting the live action to be in it like that, like just to pop up. And
the Venomverse, like, even though. It's still cool, but then seeing fucking I don't know why I'm forgetting. I
saw Toby. Huh? We saw Andrew Garfield and Toby too.
Yeah, we saw both of them. Yeah. And then he also made a reference to Tom Holland as well. Like he's like, "Who's Doctor Strange? I never heard of him." You know what I mean? And then I keep on wanting to say Childish Gambino. What's his real name?
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. Yeah. Saw him. It's the Prowler suit. Fire. All right. Yeah. So what's like? Yeah. What is that? Is that like a favorite thing that you like? Maybe like music, the art, like the characters. Like, what was like your favorite part?
My favorite part was definitely the art. I like Spider-Man 2099's outfit, of course. That was the firest one. In my opinion. I do like how there are some unique ones. I do like the Indian Spider-Man.
I found it. Yeah,
it was very clean.
Oh, also I found out. I remember you asked me. You were like, "Is he a vampire?" So I found out he's just like an actual spider. Like he has fangs, like that, and it's like poisons. Like he's like a legit spider. Like you know what I mean?
Okay.
I remember you asking me, like, "Is he a vampire?" I was like, "Nah. He when he's gonna bite somebody, that means he's like trying to put him to sleep or something like that."
Damn. And he does come off as like a supernatural creature. The way how he runs, he doesn't like you don't even be web slinging like that, bro. I don't.
It's so different. Yeah. Like he doesn't stick to walls. He has claws.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have any spider senses.
Mm-hmm.
But he has like 360 vision, like on his eyes, so he can see all around him. He doesn't have the webs. He has like a grappling hook or whatever, and then he has like a glider. Like he's a different nigga, bro. That's why.
He's like a Terminator, bro.
That's why.
He's about to hunt someone down.
I fuck with him hard. Okay, so. I remember you saying this is why I wanted us to like sit on it, because I remember when we first came out, you were saying 10 out of 10. So it's like, you still feeling that way? Like now that you've been thinking, like what's it like?
I would say it's a 9.5. I would say it's a 9.5. I was saying the 10 out of 10 because I was trolling you. I know you would like chill out. I was just saying that just to say that. But it's a 9.5. I don't believe there's a perfect movie. I mean, I'm sure like the chaoticness of the movie kind of took away from like remembering what was actually going on. Like sometimes I'll be just watching it just for like the scenes and the action scenes, and I'll be like, oh wait, like what's the real objective here? What's going on? You know what I mean? Like there was like a lot of like chaotic visuals going on that can distract you from what was going on from the plot, which kind of could be a good and bad thing. And then the second thing I could say I didn't really like about it was how they ended. I love how they ended it, but like at the same time it felt like it was a rushed ending because I didn't know it was supposed to be a 2-part movie. You know what I mean? I thought it was just supposed to be a standalone movie again.
Uh,
That's the only thing I could say that's bad about it, and that's hardly anything. You know what I mean?
yeah. Even me knowing that it was a two-part film, and I remember watching some reviews and people saying like, "Oh, it just like adds," and I was just like, "Oh, no, there's gonna be some type of conclusion, and then like there's gonna be a
Yeah.
scene, and then you'll see in the part two, like, like I don't know, but like it literally ends. So me personally, um something I just don't like in general. Even it doesn't matter what it is. It's just when it's like you gotta wait till the next one to really find out, and
Hmm.
it makes it feel like a lot of the things that we were doing didn't really matter. Even
Hmm.
though like towards that, like in the second one, it's gonna all come together, yeah. But like I just feel like the reason why it it it's just a weird feeling just because it doesn't there's really no conclusion, like there's no real conclusion to this film, and it's like it feels more like a roller coaster more than like a movie to a degree, like
Yeah.
um like it's really fun, really fast paced, like you're going there is like a lot of great character development, of course, but it just doesn't feel like we got that satisfying ending, which is like it's obviously not fair to say because they did say there is gonna be a part two, but still, if we're watching this on its own, and I'm thinking about the nigga that has no clue about what's going on, and just wanted to go watch a movie, and like they're super invested, and then it's like, oh, see you in the next one.
So what do you consider like an ending though? That's why I'm trying. That's why I have a like. How could you see this ending? Like him beating up like.
I don't know. What I know is that Avengers pulled it off better. And I
Mm.
know it's not fair to compare them, but I just really feel like that's the only thing I can think of that did this. Oh, see you in the next one, but still, that
Yeah.
movie is a whole
I
movie.
forgot what even happened in Avengers. Like,
So at the end of Avengers, he snaps and niggas start dying.
yeah, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
And then he
yeah.
disappears.
That was a crazy ending. Like, that was like, damn, they lost.
They lost. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like throughout this whole movie, you're rooting for Miles. You're like, yo, we want this nigga to win. And then like when he gets to his own universe, where like there's really no even if this movie did end right here, there was no real conclusion. He just dipped from these niggas. Like you know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think if you gave me some time and some money, I could come up with a better
Hmm. And I just like in this movie too how they like made the superhero kind of like a villain. Like
ending.
they made
Yeah,
Spider-Man 2099 like a
he's
villain. Like,
not a villain, but he's an antagonist.
yeah,
Like that's something.
they have two different philosophies. That's all it is. Like Miles believes that you're supposed to do right if you know something bad's about to happen, and he believes that like for the sake of the universe, some things you gotta let go. Like
You have everybody needs an Uncle Ben moment. But what doesn't make sense is that I thought he already had that.
that's what I was thinking. I thought his actual uncle died. So like,
That was his Uncle Ben moment, and then that is what leads him. But I guess what they're trying to say is he needs his father to die as well, because I guess in an alternate universe, I'm assuming, yes, in an alternate universe, he wasn't supposed to get the spider for Waff 1.
yeah.
So if he never got the spider, he never, his uncle never dies. If he
Hmm.
never got the spider, his uncle never dies. So that would mean his father will die, and then obviously he would follow his uncle, and then become the Prowler.
Yeah, yeah.
You feel me?
Someone else was supposed to be Spider-Man.
Somebody else is supposed to be Spider-Man. It just so happened that he got it. Um, yeah, which is super cool. Like the attention.
And I wonder if they're ever gonna play on that in itself, because I was thinking about that in the movie. Like, if the spider wasn't supposed to be there in the first place, how the fuck did it get there? Know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I guess they. I don't know if they covered it. I guess the Spot had something maybe to do about it. because the Spot said he was testing on spider on things and shit. I don't remember. I probably have to see the movie again, but I remember him kind of covering it, like, oh, because he was the one who told him you were never supposed to get the spider, right? Or was it 2099? I thought it was the Spot who told him you wasn't supposed to get the spider.
I thought the Spot was just telling him like why he hated him because
He's
of that explosion. It kind of caused him to become the Spot.
So who told Miles you was never supposed to get the
That
spider?
was Spider-Man 2099. He's like, you're not even supposed to be Spider-Man. Like, you weren't supposed to be bitten. You were like the cause of this in the first place. Because you got bitten by a spider. I remember him saying that. But
Alright, I guess I got that mixed up. But anyways, yeah. So there is a little bit of critiques I have, like I said, at the ending. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but at the end of the day, I'm looking at it in a holistic standpoint. I look at every film on its own. I can't look at it as like a part of something else. You know what I mean? But yeah, that I do think the beginning part wasn't like the greatest intro. Like I think the intro in the first movie is better. Am I wrong? Like yeah, the Gwen stuff is cool, but like I don't know. Like it didn't really start moving until Miles got in the picture. Am I wrong?
yeah, I see what you're saying. But I think the part of the reason why, even though I feel like they don't probably need that to do that, but I feel like they were using Gwen to be a person that can become an ally in the future
Eventually,
scene.
yeah.
So they wanted someone that can relate to Miles.
No, yeah, I totally get it, but I just I don't know. I could be wrong, but I do think they could have cut some of that. I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying, but it does feel like there are points where it dragged on because they didn't have they knew where they were gonna end it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in all reality, she visits him. He sneaks on with her. They go to the Spider-Verse, and he says you gotta go, and then he tries to leave, and then he goes home. Like you know, there's only so much that really happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But overall, it was fucking great, bro. Fucking great. I don't know if it's better than the first one, but I think they're tied right now in my eyes. Because I did rewatch the first one again. But yeah, I think they're tied. Even and everything in the animation. Maybe I guess the animation is better in this one because it goes into the other universes. But I guess I just have a fondness for the first one because it was the first one to do it. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. But yeah, and all the Spider-Man Noir was really cool. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, and so I like the cast of characters that they had in the first one as well. Maybe a little bit more than the cast of characters that we had in the second one. Like, yeah, we got a little bit more of the Indian Spider-Man, but we didn't really get a lot. And we also got a little bit of Hobie, but we didn't get a lot. In all reality, it was really focused on 2099, Miles, and Gwen.
Yeah.
But yeah, what would you rate this movie?
So this movie, I gotta say it's a 9.5, man. The cons are not that bad. Like I can deal with the cons. Like the cons are like
everything I said was a nitpick. It was my personal choice, like what I think. I think overall this movie is amazing. It's amazing. I think anybody can like it, old or young. You know, anybody could like it. Yeah, I agree. 9.5. Yeah, but I also give the first one a 9.5 as well. I think when the third one comes out, and if you watch the first and the second one together, 10 out of 10. I already know the next movie that comes out, the third one is gonna be 10 out of 10. Because I'm assuming because it's two people, Lord and Miller. They made the Lego movie, they made another movie, I forget, but they when they did the first one, they announced that they were gonna do a trilogy. So I'm pretty sure that's all they're gonna do. And then they also last week announced they're gonna do a Miles movie live action. So I'm pretty sure that's good. continue on with more Miles on screen.
I seen something saying that they were planning on doing a Spider-Woman movie too. I don't know if it's gonna be exactly them, but
So this is I can tell you what's in the works right now that I know of for Spider-Man movies. So we have Miles, we have Craven the Hunter, we have a movie called Madam Web. I know you don't know who Madam Web is, but she's like if I could compare, she's like a god. She's like a spider god. She's the reason why people get the spiders and shit. She controls the web of life type thing. So they're making that.
I didn't know it that deep. What the fuck?
They're it's the comics. They were there's always some. At first, it was a random accident, and then it's like it's destiny, and then like it's always some, and then it's like a spider from a different universe. It's always some different shit.
Spider God.
Yes, she's like her name's Madam Web. She's like a spider god or whatever. I don't know how that's gonna work. And then I know they're making another Venom movie. So yeah, that's four. What I know so far.
So those movies are getting views, then if they keep on making them, right?
So
or do you think it's just for a story build up? I don't know.
So the Venom movies have done. The first one did really. It crossed $1 billion, I think. The second one, it did well as well. So and then Morbius flopped. So those are the Spider-Man universe movies so far. And then the next one to come out, I think it should be Craven the Hunter.
But do you think like the reason why the Venom movie did better, right, than Morbius, is because of Venom itself? He's a famous character. Everyone's gonna want to see it because everyone hopes that it's gonna be good, right?
Yeah. The only way nobody's promise you. Not one nigga was asking for a Morbius movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No one cared about it.
The only way that movie could have worked is if it was a good movie. And it wasn't. You know what I mean? It could have been based on fucking Harry Potter. It doesn't matter who. That movie could have been based on anybody. But if it was, as long as it's a good movie, it's gonna go. And that movie was not good, so it didn't go. I don't have any expectations for any other film in the Spider-Man universe or whatever because it's mainly Sony. Sony they have their hands on Spider-Man and they're not letting go.
Well, they're doing a lot of Spider-Man stuff, so I'm just thinking like Tom Holland, and there's a possibility that they're gonna bring back Amazing Spider-Man, right, and have his own movie. So how many Spider-Man movies are gonna have?
Yeah, it's mainly Sony's fault. It's because they have their clutch on Spider-Man, and Marvel just has to accept it because they did like a split. Like, you can use Spider-Man in your universe, but we can do whatever with Venom. We could do whatever with, it just so happens that Venom did good enough for them to allow them to do, like, for him to pop up in No Way Home and whatever. You know what I mean? If Venom flopped, that nigga would never be talking about that. No, none of that. And Miss Chang in the Spider-Verse movie, like, none of that would have been there. It just so happened that movie did well, so like they allowed it to happen. But yeah, great movie. Definitely gonna see it again. Can't wait for the next one. More animation. We need more of this style, in my opinion. I can't get enough of it. But yeah, for you, Stefan, if you want more movies than this, like more animation, more movies that are animated somewhat like this, there's Puss in Boots and The Last Wish, which is actually pretty good. And there's another movie called like Michelle versus the Monsters, the Mitchells versus the Monster versus the Machines, the Mitchells versus the Machines, and it's just like this type of style, and it's actually really a good movie, inspiring movie. I fuck with it. It's on Netflix. Recommend that. But yeah, those two movies. But yeah, yeah, that's all I got. Nigga, we out. Yeah.
See y'all later.
Glamour of wearing diamonds.
Diamonds bring status, elegance, and prestige. Their brilliance makes